You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV Baltimore Ravens podcast. I'm Wole and I'm joined by my co-host, Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks. What's going on, Carita?
Yeah, happy it's the off season, getting a little breaky break.
How is that? How is the break? I know always being on the run, doing like staying late to get
Yeah.
some pressers, interviews. You got Monday pressers. You gotta be at. Like, how is now that time like to kind of decompress? How is that?
It's like you kind of like it's going to start back up again. So
Mhm.
I feel like I'm just trying to capitalize on like catching up on some things and getting a little bit of rest, but knowing that first of all, there's really no true off season because
Yep.
as we find out, as we continue to talk, things still happen. But it's nice. Just I feel like it's just nice to get a break from the running, but
Mhm.
I'm ready for it to start again when it's time. But for now, I'm gonna take this rest.
Yeah, don't you miss it a little though? Don't you miss it a little?
Well, definitely. I definitely missed it. Um,
Oh, thanks for
but
appreciate
I
it.
still do the Wizards, and so I'm not just
All right.
completely out of
Wait.
it
Time
because
out.
I still do the Wizards. I still do the Mystics. So
Wait,
yeah.
wait. Wait. Did you just say you do the Wizards? That's better doing like. Wait a minute.
You didn't ask me if something was better. You asked me if
No,
I
that's facts. That's true. I did. That's true. I want to
and
say.
what I would say, I said yes. I said yes, I do miss it, but I'm not just sitting idle.
Yeah, you
So
definitely not. One thing we know
I
about
think
Chris.
that helps. But I
Yeah,
definitely there's nothing like NFL football. I mean, that's just
facts.
a
Facts.
fact.
Yeah, especially you know what I do Wizards games too, so I'm not going to say anything.
But don't be trying to twist it. We didn't say if something was better than
I know it's messing with you.
we said, do I miss it?
I was about to say, like, yeah, I had to stop myself. I do. You know what? I shouldn't
Woo.
do that. I do Wizards games too. Like, I shouldn't do that. I haven't been there in a while. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back.
Last week for the
Yeah,
Lakers.
how was that? Before I need to dive. But before, how was that?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like, dang, I wish they would have played the Lakers after this Luca trade,
I know.
but we just missed the Luca trade.
I know.
But it was it was interesting in the sense that obviously the Wizards got blown out, but
Mhm.
it was like we want Bronny chance
That's. I know. I saw that. That was wild.
in and it was I mean, it was quite a few Lakers fans. And I was just like, that's gotta feel as a team because the team's sitting right there on like, they're probably used to it by now, but that can't feel good to like see all these other jerseys in your arena. And felt like the Lakers home game. Even when LeBron had the ball and he would do something, he look at the crowd and do his little flex. And it's like, home, but he felt home.
But
So
when he come to town, it's always like that though.
it is, but it was very interesting though. The We Want Bronny
That's
chant.
wild though. That's
They
wild.
started pretty early, and then the Lakers finally put him in towards the end of the game.
Hmm.
And when he made his free throws, the crowd was like going all wild. And LeBron was standing up like a proud father.
Oh,
Rui was all over there with LeBron, like shaking LeBron.
oh, Kuz was. I know he was.
No, Rui,
Oh,
because
Rui. Oh yeah, Rui. Oh, that's right. How did Kuz walk up to him and say, "I miss you"?
um,
He probably did.
honestly, I didn't see. I usually do. I'm usually there pre-game, and I
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
there, but I was actually in the media room eating this time.
Got you.
So I don't know if there was any pleasantries before the game. I didn't see any after the game because I was over by the tunnel by that time.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then Rui, he's grown now. Oh my gosh. I was like, Rui was a kid when he was here, and now he's growing into a man. I felt like a parent, like a proud
Yo,
parent.
yo, hey, yo, chill out. Not a proud parent for Rui. Oh my
For
god.
real. I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh my god.
Rui.
A proud parent for Rui
And
Hachimura.
then Coach Brooks is a part of the
He
Lakers
is though.
staff.
He is part of staff.
I forgot about that. And
Yeah, I forgot that too.
I listen, I said this on X and I'm gonna say it again. Scott Brooks, you can't tell me nothing about him because every time he sees me Candy, Brianna. He daps us up or hugs us or something. Like he remembers us from all those years
That's
ago.
dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. I always.
No matter
That's
what
why.
team he has
Yeah.
gone to, because he was with the was he with the Trailblazers?
I was Trailblazers. Or I keep them the Bucks or the Trailblazers, somebody like that. But I'm with you. I think
He
yeah.
was,
I think you are. I think it was the Trailblazers. He was Chauncey. I
yeah,
think
it
you're
was the
right.
Trailblazers.
Yeah,
Even when
Trailblazers.
he
You're
was
right.
with them, same thing.
Yeah. That's. I was saying that. I think that's a testament. We gonna talk Ravens stuff, but I want to say this. I'll give people their flowers. It's a testament to you, and Candy and Brianna. I think it's a testament to y'all in terms of how y'all do your job for him to kind of remember you. That means you're doing something because it's easy to remember the people that everybody wanted that the so-called hired, the Washington Post or whoever of out there. But it's a testament to you all that he remembers you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely. So that always is good when a player or coach remembers you after they moved on. That's what you kind of want as a reporter. You want to build like a good reputation. So.
And I mean, it shows that the work you did is awesome. It means that the questions you ask for these you ask these pressers are dope. You know what I'm saying? So, because some people just want to be saying, but that's a whole different thing. I'm not here to be on my soapbox. We're here to talk Ravens. So anyway, hey, before we talk about the Ravens, we got to knock down some logistics. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. This Ravens podcast is being streamed on both channels. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. Also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about the Ravens hiring Chuck Pagano as the defensive secondary coach, and the Ravens signing offensive coordinator Todd Monken to an extension. All right, Chris, let's get right into it. First off, the Ravens hiring Chuck Pagano as the Ravens senior secondary coach. It's the senior defensive secondary coach. Is that the terminology?
Senior secondary coach.
Our senior secondary coach. So for you, is that a good move?
I think it is. The secondary was the weakest link on the defense for a long time until they, made some moves and finally got it together. But clearly that is a position group that's going to need some additional attention. I mean, it doesn't lack the talent.
Yeah, it does.
But there were some gaps last season up until about the middle of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck Pagano, he has a good reputation with the Ravens. He knows the organization. He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said, the nuts and bolts of the scheme hasn't changed. So he's someone who could come in and just immediately get to work. There's not much learning that he has to do, not a lot of meeting and greeting that he has to do, just kind of has to build the relationships with the players. But he's a respected coach in the Ravens, who's been a Raven before. Even when he was hired, the fans were excited about it, So I think that's also a good sign because, people, if they're not happy, you're going to hear it. So I think overall it is a good fit. And he was willing to come out of retirement. He said it had to be the perfect situation, and he feels like this is.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it's definitely a good hiring. You have him as a secondary coach, a guy who's been a defensive coordinator in terms of good football teams that had good defenses. I want to say it was the Chicago Bears.
He did have good defenses with the Ravens.
Yeah, I want to say and also with the Ravens, and I think with Chicago Bears, I believe it was a DC over there as well. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I believe he was in Chicago as well. But so you having him as a secondary coach, which is I feel like. Yeah, when he first started in the game, that's what he did with the Ravens initially. But and then he ended up being the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. So I just feel like for him, like this is definitely a come up for the Ravens on that staff. Like for him to take a smaller role, but come back out of retirement.
It's interesting. He said that he didn't want a coordinator job. He said there's just too much responsibility that comes with that. Yeah. So he felt like this was the perfect situation for him. It's a smaller role. Yeah. And so he doesn't have as much, pressure as you have as the coordinator. So sounds like this is what he wants to.
Yeah, I think it's all happy life. It's a life.
Right.
I don't want to talk about Tucker. Oh, yeah,
Don't worry, we're not.
We're not going to talk about Tucker. He said, "Do you think Chuck Pagano would like to bring back a Darius Washington, bring back Groot and Rocket? I don't know Groot and Rocket. Is that a nickname?
I don't know about that.
We'll go with the Tell me what that means, Manny. But in terms of the last part, go ahead for the first part.
Darius Washington, I personally do think that the Ravens should bring him back regardless. And I don't see why Chuck Pagano would have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Darius Washington, first of all, I started covering the Ravens last season, and Darius in the preseason, he stood out to me. Preseason training camp, he was a guy that stood out to me very early. Then he got hit with dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
And so that impacted him last season. This year, I mean, he made some key plays. There were, especially later in the season, the Russell Wilson tackle, and there were a few other tackles he made to pretty much save a touchdown, cause a turnover. So I feel like he's definitely someone that they should look at keeping.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I thought it was like Groot. Yeah, okay, I get what you're talking about. That's a nickname for Hamilton and Washington, and as the safeties, Groot. I get it.
Thank you for breaking that down. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Hamilton and Darius Washington, they work very well together. I think that
I am old, Manny. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I'm not claiming that.
No, Carita's not. I am old. I'm claiming that. My knee hurt. I'm playing basketball. I'm old. Go ahead.
No, but I was just saying Kyle Hamilton and Darius Washington, they work very well together. And we saw, I think there's something to be said for when the secondary was struggling and they made the move with Washington and Hamilton deep. It made a huge difference. Okay, so I think there's something to be said for that.
Hey, I was Slicer 59. Hold on. I'm going to read it. Ravens defense is trash. They seldom take the ball away. It appears they're because to play soft instead of going after the ball and force the turnovers. This is called ridiculous scheme. Is foul. I think Ravens defense got better. Well, this is what let me. I'm sure you're probably not Ravens.
I would say the Ravens defense is trash. I've seen some trash defenses.
Yeah, let me correct that. I'm going to correct that for his statement. So I will say, let me say this, bro. Say this, bro. Their defense got better when Dan Pease got there, right? They got better and it played better when they moved Hamilton to the back end on the back end. The defense was vastly improved. I thought they got better as the season went on. They had more turnovers. And then you're adding in Chuck Pagano. They should get even better, basically, in my opinion. But go ahead, Chris. Say what you want to say.
I mean, in the playoffs,
but it's not trash though.
They're not trash. In the playoffs, the defense the Ravens didn't lose any game in the playoffs because of the defense. Facts. So Facts. I mean, I think that has to be considered.
No, I'm sure sure, my man. And what's going on, man? Slice to 59. You're probably not a Ravens fan. I'm guessing. I could be wrong.
Based on the content?
Guessing you may not be a Ravens fan. Because you went a little too hard on that joint. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm guessing you're not a Ravens fan. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna go to this. Because again, we saw Dan Pease and how he helped the defense, and now he decided not to come back. Right? He decided not to come back. Now you have Chuck Pagano, who has all this clout, right, of being a defensive-minded coach. One of the elite defensive-minded coaches in all of football. Retired not because he was bad, left the game, not because he was bad at it, because he just wanted to spend time with his family. Do you feel like this is a good thing for Ravens coordinator Zach Orr? And I got a secondary question for you after that.
I think that adding experienced, when you have a young coordinator like Zach Orr, I think adding experience around him makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Nah, he's oh, you are okay. Oh, my bad, bro.
He said he's still upset. That's all.
That's all. Oh, at the loss. Yeah, I feel you. I'm a Commanders fan. I'm so upset at the loss. Go ahead though.
Um, but yeah, I think adding experience around any young coordinator increases their chances of success, especially with the Chuck Pagano situation. Chuck has been a defensive coordinator before,
Yeah.
although he doesn't want that role now, but he's still someone you know, has wants to have a mentor of some sort, just like, or an advisor, I should say advisor of some sort. That is something that Chuck Pagano is capable of doing. So I don't think adding experience around a young coordinator can ever be a bad thing.
I do agree with that. I do think I think it's a good thing for the organization in terms of like the makeup of the organization of how they did that, right? Like you got a guy who's younger in the game, right? In terms of being a DC and Zach Orr, and you kind of which is it's wild. Like a lot of people aren't trying to have you be successful, like have folks be successful, right? Like a young coordinator, like they're kind of like cultivating an environment for him to get better and be a successful DC. Like having Dan Pease as an advisor. I think will he still be an advisor next year? Will he still?
I haven't heard that he's left that position.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
We'll be able to check as the season gets closer, but I haven't heard anything about him not coming back. So,
oh man, it's like, man, appreciate you, man. Look,
oh, no problem.
Yeah,
Hello,
man, appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
But yeah. So with that concept, like you just had Dan Pease, right, and you still may have him right as an advisor. Now you got Chuck Pagano. This is all just going to make you a better defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and the great thing that I've picked up from Zach Orr is he wants to be successful. He wants to learn. And, I think he has all the tools to do the job. And so do the Ravens, apparently, because instead of showing forms of frustration, which they shouldn't, because the defense did get better as the season went on, they're just equipping him with people that can help him be successful. And I think that says a lot.
No, I agree. I was very impressed with that. Like I was like, you know what? Like not a lot of play. Like I'm gonna be real, especially being an African American defensive coordinator. Sometimes you just like you're young too. Like this basically it's like it's just like it's like treating like a young quarterback, like how you're supposed to treat a young quarterback. Usually you want to make sure you have talent around them, offensive line, everything, good coaching to kind of make that young quarterback, have that young quarterback fulfill his talent. Same here with Orr. I believe like putting all of these individuals around him can help him become a better defensive coordinator, especially when you're young in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do think he says it. I do think says I do think Pagano will help tremendously with Orr. I agree. I do. I think and still having Dan Pease as an advisor, I think you got two voices that can help you become a better defensive coordinator. So yeah, I do think that, at the end of the day, I think it's gonna make Zach Orr a better play caller on defense. It wasn't like he was bad, but it makes him definitely a better.
But it's a lot to take on, right? Because he was taking on a defense that was the top of almost every category the previous year.
Yeah.
And went to a defense that went to the AFC Championship. So that's a lot to take on because the expectations are already extremely high.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's, with all of that, all this we just talked about, knowing you got Pagano, know you probably got Dan Pease as an advisor. Do you feel like there's pressure on him now, more pressure on him, or is it just still like we'll see?
I don't think it's more pressure. I don't think it's more pressure.
Okay.
But I believe, regardless of who is on the staff, that people are going to expect that next season the defense starts off better than they did this past season. So I think regardless of who's around him, the expectation would be that like he's a better defensive coordinator this year, and that the defense starts off fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think he'll be better. Like to your point, I feel like it's incentive though. Like it's going to motivate him, not because he not because he feels like these guys are threats, but it's to a point where like, yo, like I'm about to get some good. I'm gonna get some good help. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like you said, mentorship. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna mentor me and make me a better play caller. Like, dude, like again, Chuck Pagano is one of the key dudes to help this team win a Super Bowl. I believe. I think he was on that Super Bowl roster.
No,
He was on the coaching.
He left the the year before they won the Super Bowl.
He did. He left the year before. Okay. But he was part of the foundation of building a good defense for that team. So yeah, I just think that it's going to make him a lot better. I mean, so make this defense a lot better. What my man, so like I said, we have way too much talent on both sides of the ball to not get a chip with the best football player, Lamar Jackson, the great, LJ, the great 8 in the entire league period. I mean, he's awesome, man. I love that. I think he's super talented. Y'all already know. I've said this before.
I don't disagree with that.
You said, who said? I'm starting to root for. Oh, look at you. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. That young man, Daniels, is going to be great if he stays out. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, he should be, man. I root for the Ravens too, man. I told y'all, man. I root for both teams, man. I'm a diehard Commanders fan. Everybody knows that, but I root for Lamar. I root for the Ravens too on the AFC side because I just love Lamar. Everybody knows I love Lamar. Said, yeah, this is it. This is it. 2025 make or break. Roster is getting too expensive. Yeah, roster is getting big. And Manny, I'm gonna read your questions because actually it lays over to the next topic. So I don't want you to think that I ain't reading your questions. I will read your questions. So all right, let's go into first off, let's go to the linebacker coach situation, man. So the Ravens part ways with Coach Mark De Leon. I want to say it correctly. Mark De Leon. I know it's like Italian. I don't want to mess up nobody's Italian name. I hate when people mess up my name, so I want to mess up his name. But hired former Georgia Tech defensive coordinator Tyler Santucci. Sorry, Santucci. I'm sorry, y'all. We messing up names. It's Santucci.
You messing up names, not we.
I'm messing up me. It's me.
No, but it's Tyler Santucci. Let's not worry about it. Let's go
Santucci. All right, thank you. I ain't gonna mess it up. Sorry, I did mess it up. Excuse me, Santucci. Anyway, all right. What have you heard about Santucci?
Well, I mean, I don't know much about Santucci. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I do know he's been successful on the college side. He's had success there. And that, he was sought out in the NFL for some defensive coordinator. I don't think he did any interviews, but he was someone I think that was a topic of conversation when it came to some defensive coordinator openings. But other than that, I don't know too much about him because he's coming from the college side. But for the Ravens to hire him, they must think that he can bring something different than Mark De Leon. Because for them to only give him one season, to me, that they must have been pretty unsatisfied with what he was able to do. Because as we just talked about with Zach Orr, I mean, they're about building you up to be successful. And so that tells me there was something that just wasn't aligned there.
Yeah, you're looking at dude's body of work. He's gotten he's been pretty solid as a defensive coordinator. I think he was in line for the Clemson defensive coordinating job. Yeah, he did a great job in Georgia Tech. I think in Georgia Tech against the last game against Georgia, they were beating Georgia 21-0 for Georgia Tech.
He's definitely had success in the college. So I think it's just a matter of will it translate to the NFL.
Yeah, but also, to your point, I agree with you
as well, and I think that that's also a positive. I think that when you play a position, you can relate to what is needed from a coach.
I think I heard from Ray correctly. He's a dog. He was a dog, and he's from the Pennsylvania area, so he was a dog in terms of a line, one of the known dudes at that linebacker position out of Pennsylvania, state of Pennsylvania. But I will say, also, going from DC to a position coach, I think that's a good transition for like he's a defensive coordinator in Georgia Tech. Now he's a linebackers coach, and for him too the same way. He's 36, I believe. He's young too. So now he just like we were talking about Zach Orr, he gets to learn from he gets to learn from he gets to learn from Dan Pease, he gets to learn from Chuck Pagano, all the same thing. So I think you're cultivating a young coaching staff, which I think is pretty dope.
I agree, but he's also getting talent. I mean, you got Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson. Although he didn't play as much as anticipated, he has a lot of upside, and they're still banking on Trenton Simpson being one of their solid linebacker options. So he's coming in with a talented group to coach.
Love it. Manny, it's a shade. You throwing shade at me, Manny? He said, if we got Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner, would you be mad at the Ravens? Yeah, I would.
Zach Ertz and
Bobby Wagner. Yeah,
there's already an abundance of tight ends.
Yeah, he's trying to mess with me. That's all.
No, I know.
Man, don't try to mess with me, man. Don't try to hurt my feelings, man. Don't do that to me. I've been happy with Bobby. Don't try to take Bobby away from me. That's my guy. Dude, that'd be dope. I know, right? That would be dope. A DMV Bowie Super Bowl. I was about to lose my life savings this year for it. I always want to go to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, but it is what it is. I don't want to reminisce. I want to go back because I'm only going forward. I'm not going backwards.
Yes.
Because I was crushed for a while. I was crushed for a while. I'm still trying. I'm just getting my soul back. I'm just getting it back. All right, y'all. So let's talk about the offensive side of football. The team announced that they signed offensive coordinator Todd Monken to an extension. All right, Carita, you in these streets. You need to be more streets. Are these fans happy about this? About having Monken back? I like it, but are they, from what you heard, are they feeling good about it?
I didn't see any huge discontent from fans regarding bringing Todd Monken back. I know that the Ravens haven't gotten over that hump with Todd Monken as far as getting to the Super Bowl, but that's really kind of the entire team. It's not just, I mean, there's been some offensive things, but it's kind of like everybody. There's been some sort of disconnect across the board, but I feel like he's done really well with Lamar, and he's built a very efficient offense. So for me, I do think continuity right now is important. The Ravens are almost there, and as we talked about earlier, they have a talented roster. All the pieces are there. They just have to put it together. So I don't think changing offensive coordinators or being in a position where you might have to look for another offensive coordinator soon is the way to go right now, because Lamar's doing well. Between Todd Monken and T. Martin, he's really grown as a quarterback. So I think that keeping him in the same system is a good idea. The system has gotten them to the playoffs 2 years in a row. Now they just have to take that next step. Yeah. But I like what Todd Monken's brought to the table so far.
Yeah, Manny had that question. It was Manny's same question, but he said, and if Kellen Moore turns down the job for the Saints and they want Todd Monken, do you think Monken would take the job after the extension, like the Jags coach? Ooh, that's a good point. Coach took it after he reneged on his extension.
No, because Liam Cohen's a totally different situation. I don't see Todd Monken doing something like that whatsoever. I know I had to just keep myself.
I know, I got you.
I had to keep myself in the professional realm.
I know you did. I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I brought it back.
I know. I knew as soon as I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be funny. I will say I like so Manny, I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I like the Monken extension. I think it's great. It's continuity. That's very important. Lamar's had his two best passing seasons under Monken in terms of efficiency, dynamic play. I think you don't let that go. Monken has been good for Lamar. Now, obviously, I mean, we can judge anybody's play calling. We can find holes in anybody's play calling, even the best, right? Even the best play callers in football, we can find holes. For instance, Kyle Shanahan has been named one of the best offensive minds in football, but you saw in the Super Bowl with Atlanta, you saw his flaws. And everybody talks about how great Kyle Shanahan is as a play caller. So you have offensive play callers in this league where, have put up great numbers, but yeah, they have situations that you may not be a fan of. I was on the show and said I wasn't a fan of what that Todd Monken didn't feed Derrick Henry in the game against the Buffalo Bills. I thought he should have fed him more, but you can't deny what he's done for Lamar Jackson. I think that at the end of the day, that's most important. Is like Lamar's your franchise and how he's helped Lamar get to this level as a quarterback. That cannot be denied.
And I think that he'll do better with his decision making with Derrick Henry next season.
I hope I think he should. I just felt like but like anything, when everybody's is a Monday morning quarterback, right? So it's unfair to him. Like I'm saying that, but if they had won the game not getting the ball to Derrick Henry, I'm not talking about it. You know what I mean?
In some games they had.
They have. So, but I mean, that's the life of a play caller. Anybody can find a way to kind of go against the grain and say like, okay, yeah, he did this, but I didn't like him in doing this. This is why the team ain't doing X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? So just like how we talked about like Harbaugh, like how folks take him for granted to a certain extent, in my opinion. Some people say whatever. In my opinion, I think some folks taking him for granted. Manny said, if we win the dance next year and Harbaugh retires, who has the best chance on our staff to get the job? DC, OC, special teams. Pagano said he doesn't want to be a head coach again. Look, are you looking at my notes, bro? You kind of semi on my note game. Dang, Manny. Like, you really see, so this is I'm gonna ask, so that Manny, I like you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like you because you think like me. Are you like Nigerian? I ain't sure. You got like we vibing. So I'm at like, so for instance, because I just mentioned how much Lamar how much improvement Lamar has had with Monken. Like can you see a situation where I'll use what Manny said. I'll even rephrase what I was going. Could you see a situation if they win the championship, Harbaugh retires, could Todd Monken be like the next coach of the Baltimore Ravens?
That is a scenario I could see because first of all, the Ravens like to hire from within where possible. So that's number one. Number two, Coach Monken for 2 years in a row has been a name amongst the head coach carousel, right? He's had several interviews in the past 2 years. So he's definitely head coach material to other teams. And I'm sure the Ravens see that. And that's probably one of the reasons they locked him down in a contract extension so they don't lose him. And I can definitely see the possibility if Harbaugh retires, him being the head coach. He kind of fits their style as an organization, but he do have a little edge to him, though.
He got a little edge to him.
Yeah.
Do he got swag? I mean, how is he? Like, that's a good question.
He do got a little swag. I give it to him.
He got swag?
He do have swag.
No, Monkey got swag for real?
Yeah, it's like a different kind of swag. It's not like
Okay, I'm interested now. You didn't pull.
I don't know how to describe it. It's hard to describe, but he got a little edge to him. He'll be like,
well, he be feeling himself. He be feeling himself.
I don't even know if it's feeling himself. I just think that that's his personality. So anyway, but I could definitely see a situation where that is possible.
I do think it's all about, it's a franchise player. Lamar's a franchise player. So I do think, to your point, yeah, it is definitely possible. If he's making Lamar better, why would you not want to reward him for that? You know what I mean? Like, if they win the championship, Harbaugh retires, I could definitely see them saying like, okay, Monken, you're the next guy in line. Like, I know we got the defense situated with young Zach Orr. Now we need to keep the boat flowing with like Lamar and making sure Lamar, continues to ascend, not go backwards.
And that would be the thing when you have someone like Lamar, you don't want to make such a significant coaching change that it
Facts.
sets back
Yeah.
his career, and not even him as a player, but if the team is set back in any kind of way, then that does set him back from getting a championship. Like we're not like then I don't feel like the Ravens with Lamar are in a situation where they can afford for the team to go backwards too much.
No, I agree. I just feel like when you got just like it's Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, or you know what I mean, like they go hand in hand. Brady, Belichick, you know what I'm saying? Like offensive mind. Well, Brady, Belichick, he an offensive minded coach, but definitely Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. As Andy Reid's the offensive minded coach, and you got him teamed up with an all time great player in Pat Mahomes. And I would like to say the same thing about Lamar. He's an all time great player. Like my man, Slicer in 59 said, like he's Lamar the Great. That's the truth. He's Lamar the Great. He LJ, the great, the great 8. So I'm with that. Like I feel like you do treat certain players like that with that ilk. You treat them with the respect they deserve. So what I'm saying, like if Lamar wants Monken to be the head coach, he should get that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He said the Ravens will never tell. The Ravens will never tell Raven fans they are rebuilding. They ain't rebuilding, though. They'll never. They're not rebuilding
right now.
They'll never like. And I don't even think since the Harbaugh. I don't even think they've been rebuilding. Period. Anyway, to be real with you,
I don't think.
I don't think they've been rebuilding since the culture has been the culture. They've always said, especially since they got Lamar, they've never been rebuilding.
He did not have trust on that offensive line. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, here? I don't know. ED did. Hey, repeat that. Hey. Oh, yeah, I think it's offensive line. Yeah, it's offensive line. What's EDC though?
Oh, Eric DeCosta.
Eric DeCosta did not have trust on that offensive line. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay.
I don't know how to interpret that though.
He don't trust the offensive line. You don't think he trusts the offensive line?
Eric DeCosta?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the offensive line he built, and that's the offensive line he wanted to build.
There you go. So obviously he got trust.
I mean, straight up, I asked him when the roster was final, we had a media availability with him, and I asked him, what do you like about the roster that you built? And he specifically said he likes that he built a young roster because he's looking at the long term. And he's like, now we'll have players that are only getting better for the long term. And that was very specific to the offensive line. So
he said, that's why we'll never say that they're rebuild. Okay. Oh, okay. He said that's why they will never say they are rebuilding with all the pieces they be losing.
But I still don't really think they're rebuilding even with the pieces that they lose. Listen, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, Carita, go ahead. Let them know. I was trying to let that be quiet, but go ahead, though.
They are our home team. Though that's the team that has been rebuilding forever. What the Ravens are doing is not rebuilding. Trust me.
I'm gonna use a better term for folks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they retooling.
I mean, they have to retool, right? They lost pieces, so they do have to retool, but they're definitely not rebuilding.
Nah, they're not rebuilding. They solid. The Ravens solid. They still a contender. As long as you got Lamar, you're a contender.
And let's be for real. With that young offensive line, they still made it to the divisional round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys are luckier than you realize, I think.
She's saying this as Reverend the home team, like you guys lucky.
I mean, seriously, I have seen some bad football.
Yeah, this actually Carita, you was at the press, like the presser. He said had a press conference mentioning about the offensive line. He was questioning it going into next year. Was he? Carita, you were there. I was. You were there.
Eric DeCosta, he wasn't questioning his offensive line.
Was there a question about the offensive line at all to him?
There may have been questions. There's always questions regarding the offensive line, but there was nothing where he showed doubt. About the offensive line, so I'm not quite sure. I mean, I was there, so I'm not.
I know you there.
What that was what that's. Oh,
Oh, here you go. This is a good, like Manny said. What's the chances of bringing back Stanley?
Now that's a very good question.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of 50-50 because he might cost a lot of money and he had a healthy season, but he spent a lot of time injured. But then at the same time, we could say the same when it came to Rashad Bateman about the injuries and Costa believed in what he saw with Bateman and kept him. But I do think Ronnie Stanley is like 50-50 in my opinion.
50-50? Okay. Yeah.
Because I just think he's going to cost a lot of money and like they don't have a lot of cap space.
I know, yeah. Retooling, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm about to start hating because I want Stanley on my team. But I'm not doing that. We're not doing that here. I told myself I'm not gonna do that here. It's all be more love here. Crab cakes and crab cakes and crab cakes and Obey. So I care about here. Oh man, it's Wole, Carita Parks. Love your work at the okay. At the Castle Grade, YouTube and X. Follow me. Man.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you following.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. YouTube and X and the podcast. Thank you so much. See,
people got love for you. And people got love for you, Carita. That's what I'm talking about.
Just out there. Yeah.
Look at you, man. Look. You know what I'm saying? Sean said we need him on the Ravens team. Oh, I gotta check him out. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm gonna check. Oh, second, third round pick. It's a draft pick. I'm gonna check. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna check all these draft picks out, and we're gonna see what's up. Carita, you going? I ain't gonna speak for you.
Am I going to the draft?
No, you going to the combine?
I'm going to the combine. Yes.
All right, Carita's going to the combine, so I'm letting y'all know.
I will be at the combine.
So she'll get to see your draft picks. She'll get to see your future Ravens. See, I had to like play. I had to play it off. You know what I'm saying? I had to play it off. I wasn't sure. Yeah, she's going. So yeah, she'll see y'all future Ravens. I will be there. All right. So so you have questions about how so-and-so looking to combine? Like when he was, linked to the Ravens, how did he respond to that question? Blah, blah, blah. Y'all know. So I'm gonna let y'all know. It is what it is. Carita's gonna let y'all know. But anyway, we're about to close the show. Before we close the show out, Carita, how can folks catch you on social media and catch your content all around on all your platforms?
You can catch me on social media right there on the screen at Carita C. Parks. That's where I post all of my sports reporting content, including the Ravens. Specifically, I cover the Ravens for Bowie TV Sports. So that content is there too at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. And I should say Carita C. Parks is on all platforms as well. And then I also have Double Take Sports where I cover WNBA, NBA, some NFL, and other sports as well. So be sure to follow my company at DBL Take Sports. That can also be found at dbltakesports.com.
All right, y'all. If y'all on this YouTube thing right now, for real, hit that red subscribe button for Bowie TV YouTube channel. Also for the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. We're streaming on 2 channels. That's the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel and Bowie TV YouTube channel. So what you got to do is go hit that red subscribe button. Also like this video. It'll be good for like the Be More Baltimore Ravens, podcast algorithm, because that's a YouTube thing. Like they get real iffy with this stuff.
More people in Baltimore need to know about this podcast because
tell them, Carita.
I am actually on site.
Yeah, tell them.
No shade, but sometimes people are giving y'all information that they're getting second, third hand when you can get firsthand information here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So make sure you share more about this podcast.
Yes, please. Like she said, she's just awesome. I ain't nobody worry about no Shador. My God, out of my face. I like Shador though. I like Shador a lot. I ain't worried about no Shador.
Shador might be going to like.
You have her link. Oh, I'm about to give you this the link. Let's see. What link you want? Which link you want? Which link you want? You want the Bowie? I get you, Bowie. Yeah, I got you. I'm a share. Hold on. I'm gonna share this link with you if I can find it quick. Hold on. I'm gonna find this real quick. Carita, I'm gonna have you on for a hot second. Okay. I want folks get your. You want me to give them your double take link? Double take sports link, Carita.
Sure. Why
Look,
not?
I'm about to like share.
Giving out links.
I'm giving out links for these folks, man. I gotta make sure if these folks know what time it is. They said her. So when somebody said her, I was like, okay, they want your link. All right. There you go. Double text words. There we go. Boom.
I know. I used to have a person. I do still have a personal YouTube, but I got to get that back up. That's
Yeah, I got
sad.
you.
It's sad over
Do you
there.
really? Do you need a personal YouTube? I be feeling like I was trying to think. I have one, but I don't use it because I'm not really using it for me anymore. It's not like I have one. It was just for me at first.
Well, it would be for my like different reports, you know.
That's cool. Oh, I know why you would do it. That makes sense. That does
Yeah,
make
but
sense.
I just don't do a good job of.
That makes actually that does make sense. That makes a lot of sense actually, Carita. It makes a lot of sense. I had
Oh,
to think
wow.
about it that way. Because now that makes sense. I'm not doing that for myself anymore. When I did do that type of stuff, yeah. You have more sense to do it than I. I'm giving you all the links. Give me all the links. I'm giving you. Oh, okay. You want all the links? All the smoke. All right, bro. You pocket all the links. You say it. It's happening right now, bro. You got all the links. I think you're already on the Bowie one though. I think you on the Bowie. But I'm gonna get the Bowie one too though, bro. I'm gonna get all the smoke. All the smoke, Brody. Y'all getting all the smoke. All right, here you go, boom. I didn't give y'all all the links. Boom. All right, yeah, all the links. I feel good now. All right. Y'all can also check me on the website, on the Urban Sports Scene website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. All right, man. This has been dope, man. Appreciate the engagement, like y'all, the feedback is great. I'll always say, man, I don't gotta agree with you, but as long as we have this feedback, this interaction, we are respectful. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? In this world, a lot of people, in terms of like nowadays, folks don't know how to debate respectfully, or
Yeah.
everybody got to be right. I always say when I'm wrong, I'm the first to tell y'all, oh, you got it, I'm wrong, and I'm keeping moving. If I'm right, I'm right, and whatever it is. But you ain't gonna ever hear me gloat about it, me being right over you, unless you one of my homies who like annoy the hell out of me. Then I'm gonna gloat. Other than that, you ain't gonna really get that from me. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up, tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.
Deuce.